Hello again and welcome to
Rohan's Car Project.
This is my £500 Suzuki Alto that we're converting into a track car. I think for a name, I've decided to call it Pickle. Yeah, we found the pickled onion super noodles a couple episodes ago. So yeah, from now on, this is going to be called Pickle. And what we're doing today is we're going to be looking at the exhaust. Before we get into the exhaust stuff though, in the last episode I talked about how the MX5 wheels might fit the Alto. Well, I'm happy to announce that they do in fact fit the Alto. So here they are. They look absolutely fantastic when you compare them to the Steelies, especially combined with those lowering springs. And now we're rocking some fat 195 wheels compared to I think 155 before. So it's a lot more tire. They're 15s instead of 14s. They're a bit heavier than the Steelies, so it's going to take a bit more to get them going. But I think the trade-off is that it's going to handle a lot better. It's going to grip much better around the corners. And I've taken it out a few times and it's night and day. It feels great. It feels like it's on rails, and I hate that phrase because it's so cliche, but it really does feel like you can just chuck it into a corner. Am I cheating by using them? I don't know, they were free because they came off my MX5. Is that cheating? It's probably cheating, but you know, I'm going to take the opportunities where I can. I'm sure you'd have a similar situation where you could maybe rummage around, maybe take bits off other cars. Anyway, let's stop talking about the wheels and talk about the exhaust, because this is the thing I've been looking forward to for the longest time. I love a loud car. In my personal opinion, I think a race car should have that kind of chaotic sound to it, because for me, going to the track and experiencing that rumble and the scream of a car going past just ties into the whole motorsport experience. I know, like, in my brain it's not true, but a loud car is a fast car. EVs and stuff, yeah, they're probably way faster. Something about the experience and just the feel of a loud car and putting your foot down and hearing the engine scream is so exciting, and I love that feeling. So naturally, this is a high performance vehicle, and it needs to sound like a high performance vehicle, because right now it is whisper quiet. And as you can hear, it's pretty much silent. We're gonna sort that issue out and make it loud. The first thing I'm gonna try to make it a bit more throaty of an exhaust is I'm gonna take out the back section of the exhaust, basically gut it out, take all the baffling out, there's probably some sound deadening, take it all out, weld it back up, put it back on, and fingers crossed, we've got a louder exhaust that's got a bit more flow through it for absolutely no money. If that fails, I'm probably gonna have to do some straight pipe welding. I'm not a welder, so we'll see how that goes. But enough rambling, let's actually crack on with it. All right, we've got the car jacked up. I didn't film that because that's boring. The exhaust is a bit of a weird one. This is the muffler here, and it's before the rear axle. And here's the connection, so that whole thing, and then all the way out to the exit is one piece. I reckon it's pretty straightforward though. We've got a few hangers, a couple of bolts, whole exhaust out, cut the top of that, gut it, we'll weld it back together, then stick it back on, and then hopefully it'll sound like a Mazda 787B. The more likely situation is this is going to make it sound like a Mosquito. It's going to be awful to drive, but that's kind of in the spirit of this whole kind of series. I think we're basically taking a very good, usable, practical daily car and we're just ruining it. We're striving for greatness here. We're striving for performance, we're striving for handling, street cred. All of that's more important than actually having a good car that's usable and drivable. With that being said, let's make this worse. I'll tell you, this thing is the MVP of this whole car build. I've used this pretty much every time I've touched this car, so shout out to this old brush. What's that even meant to be, man? Yeah, that looks really nice. I'm sure that's going to come off easily. I'm just going to send it with the gun like last time and hope for the best. Yeah, so these bolts are welded in place. I didn't realise that because I'm an idiot. Why would they weld the bolts on?
Grinder? I hardly know her.
Alright, that was a bit of a faff, but now we know it works with the grinder, so that's one down, one to go. Alright, we managed to get the two bolts off, so the exhaust is now loose at that end. And now we just need to get a couple of the hangers off and then yank this bad boy out. Still pretty simple, it's just annoying that we had to grind these bolts off. Could have been a lot worse, I suppose. There we go. And the third and final one. Right, that's all the hangers off, but now I can't get the actual exhaust off because it's the most stupid design of an exhaust ever. Right, we managed to get the exhaust off finally. That was a bit of a battle. Yeah, I had to take off the rear springs and loosen off the shocks. We got there eventually. Now I'd be doing everyone a disservice if I didn't start up the car without a muffler on the back. So of course we're going to do that. I reckon it will sound pretty mad. It'll also be a good indicator if we end up not using this muffler and doing a side exit, just to see how loud it is, because if it's way too loud we can't do it. There is actually still a muffler on it, so maybe it'll actually be alright and it'll still be a usable kind of sound, not just fully straight piped deafening. But let's find out. That's not actually too loud. I think maybe that first little muffler there is dying the sound down a wee bit. It's not completely obnoxious. Something to bear in mind, we could, take some of this right angle stuff, attach it to that side and do some mad surgery to get this as a side exit. I'm just thinking out loud right now, but yeah, for now, let's get this cut open and see what we're dealing with. This is what a muffler looks like on the inside. We've got the engine gases coming in, and we've got a couple of baffles here. And notice that it's not a direct pipe. We've got 3 chambers here, and we've got little holes in this intake pipe that feed gases into these chambers, and it forces the air to go through these baffles and through into this pipe here and out. What I'm going to probably have to do is just chop it all out. Hello, it's a new day, and yeah, I'm halfway through gutting the muffler, but I have decided, I've slept on the idea, and gutting the muffler's kind of boring, and I kind of want this to be a bit silly, so I'm going to do the side exit exhaust instead. Beanbag convinced me, so I'm going to that's what I'm going to do today, is the side exit exhaust, because that's way more interesting, it's way more fun, and honestly it's probably going to be a lot easier to do because the muffler has kind of been a pain in the ass. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to cut the muffler off and just see what pipes we've got to work with, and yeah, we'll take it from there. We'll start building up our new exhaust. So let's do it. Okay, so I'm thinking this comes out and actually already has a 45 degrees here. So I'm thinking maybe we just cut here and just send a straight out, because that looks like a good angle. I'm going to be doing it from the driver's side. I'm going to go into the car and see what it looks like and see what the angle's like. But that's a good start, I think. Might be able to get some straight edge from this and from here, and maybe from there. So I reckon we'll have enough to get out. Behold my genius. This is probably the jankiest looking exhaust mock-up ever, but I literally just started cutting the exhaust up and just building it back up like Lego. These 290 degrees bends are really going to help with the airflow, the exhaust flow, but I'm working with basically a limited amount of pipe as usual. I'm going to just tack weld this and then put it on and see what it looks like. I am probably going to have to do this about 5 or 6 times, let's be honest, because firstly, I'm not a welder by any means. And secondly, this is just really jank. Like, I've just cut this up and put this general shape. I mean, it's gone from there to the side. I need to just fandangle some of the angles, especially that exit pipe. That is the wrong way, my fault. It's not too bad. Alright, I've just got to take this one off and adjust the angle, but the other 3 sections are together. The welds are questionable. I'm not a welder, but I've given it my best shot. It's all solid, there's no holes. But yeah, I mean, for a first time, it's not too bad. The main problem I had was the welder was just punching holes through the thin steel, and I had the voltage pretty much at the lowest it could possibly be. If there's any welders out there who actually know what they're doing, let me know what I should kind of change settings wise and how I should do the weld. I did a 1-week course like 3 years ago in welding. Clearly I've forgotten everything from that course. It's solid enough, I think, but I guess we'll find out. Alright, that's it all in place. I just need to adjust this angle on this last one, just bring it down slightly, because right now I've got something wedged in it, but this is basically behind the sill, it's too high up. I just need to cut this, bring it down slightly, but that is all that needs adjusted. Apart from that, it's pretty much bang on. I'm going to wrap the exhaust near the brake lines. I'll probably get an exhaust tip for this, maybe even a little baffle. We'll see how it goes.
you know, overall I'm quite happy with that for my first ever janky exhaust.
Alright, so that is the exhaust pretty much on. I just need to change the angle of that exit pipe and put some hangers on it and probably wrap it up with some heat wrap as well. I do need to leave the video here because it's been about 3 days of filming on and off, and I need to shoot off to get some new parts for this car, which I'm very excited about. So that'll be the next video, fitting these new parts, fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. I do hope you enjoyed the video. It was a bit of a weird one because I changed my idea, but that's the reality of working on cars. I don't want to give you this squeaky clean version of working on cars because that's not real. I want to give you my genuine experience of doing this, purely because that's the kind of content I like to watch myself. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and let's finally hear how this exhaust sounds. I'm so excited. That sounds mad.